All right, guys, I'm Big Mike, and like always, I'd like to thank you for being here today. Today is a Ask Me Anything session with Trevor from MarketDelta. The Ask Me Anythings are designed to be very quick, casual. There's not a formal presentation. We're going to just dive right in and turn things over to Trevor in just 1 second. He'll start sharing his screen. As you guys have questions, go ahead and start typing them into the questions box. That's the whole point of this, and we'll get them answered. The session will be limited to 30 minutes, and I'll be posting the recording in the Ask Me Anything thread on BMT after we're done. All right, Trevor, are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, I'm giving you control right now, and you can bring up the charts.
Okay. Should be seeing my screen now.
Yep.
I'm just sharing out the application. I can jump around as needed.
Okay. So I had a couple questions for myself to get us started, and then we'll start taking questions from guys that are here. So I saw in the thread that you said that MarketDelta was actually the platform that first introduced footprint charts. So can you tell us more about that? And I see you're sharing one right now. And,
yeah. Sure.
How the whole process worked, what came about.
Yep. Back in 2003, I was a trader at the CME, member of the CME, and I was trading off the floor at the exchange. And so I'm looking at the dome. I'm trading like most people do now, and I could clearly see there was more information in a candle or in a bar than what I could see on the chart. I'm watching all this electronic trade data happen on the dome, and just wasn't showing up on the chart. It was just showing me open, high, low, close on the chart. And I wanted to be able to have more information, be able to see inside the bar or see inside the chart, as we kind of coined that term. And so I started prototyping in-house. I have a financial engineering master's degree, and so I started playing around with some stuff, and really for my own use. And out came the footprint out of that, and showed a few buddies at the exchange, and they wanted it, and it really wasn't meant to be commercialized. It was a tool for me, and we ended up at that point creating a really more of a commercial software package at that point, and making it available to anyone who really wanted to subscribe. So it's been around for 10 years now.
Okay. So tell us, what are we seeing on these bars? For those that are not familiar with footprint, first of all, what's the panel at the bottom, and then on the top, tell us what the numbers represent.
Sure. So first thing I'm going to do is just change this to a 5-minute chart, because that's something we're all familiar with, 5-minute bars. So the first thing, to answer your question, down here at the bottom is what we call the volume breakdown indicator, and it is showing us think of it as the net order flow per bar, how much buying or how much selling in terms of volume occurred within the bar. So it's referring to delta, and delta is a term we coined back then when we started this, and it's much more ubiquitous now. And not options delta, but delta in terms of the net order flow. And that's really looked at how the trading's entering the market. Are they hitting bids or lifting offers?
Is that what people call cumulative delta?
Yep,
is that the same thing?
Cumulative delta would be just adding it all up over the course of the day,
okay,
and plotting it. And that's a useful figure. This is looking at it in terms of just a bar-by-bar basis.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so that's what it is. Now, up top is the actual footprint charts, and let's just take a look. Let's take a look at this current bar that's actually developing. If you see this red bar that you see right here, think of that as the body of a candle. So if you're used to looking at candle charts, this was the open, and this, of course, this bar isn't closed yet, but it's trading lower, which is why it's red. It's trading lower than where it opened. If we jump back a bar here, you can see this one basically opened here, closed here, that's the body of the candle, and these are all the prices that traded. So what we're doing is we step inside, or think of it as slicing up the candle or a bar. A lot of people now look at candles, but whatever. You're slicing it up price by price,
Right.
and the footprint then within each of those slices shows you volume, some sort of volume information. So
we're seeing bids and offers.
Yeah, in this case, this is called the bid-ask footprint, and it's showing us, it's in real time cataloging how much volume's trading on the bid at a particular price, and how much volume's trading at the ask at a particular price. Now, this is kind of the default view, but there's other ways of viewing this data. I won't get into a whole bunch, but the most basic one to convey the point is just the total volume footprint, and this one will show us the total volume traded at each price within the bar. So this is a real easy way to understand what you're looking at.
Right.
But we have the ability to break that down.
Okay. So I have a question from Sever. He says, how can we profit from this? We all have information with market profile, but how do we turn this into a profitable strategy? So tell me, how are MarketDelta users using footprint charts, or you also have market profile, you have volume profile. Feel free to show those as well.
Yeah. Well, no, that's a very fair question. And what the general way I answer that is the footprint allows you to have kind of a closer view, or more, I don't want to say real-time view, but an inside view of what's happening. So we all have to execute in the market when we go to trade. We have to click buy, we have to click sell, and that decision's based on who knows what, maybe a pivot, maybe support resistance. It could be all kinds of different things. And those are levels. The way I like to think of it is we have levels or areas we all know we want to trade, but do we pull the trigger at that level or not? Of course, we could pull it every single time, and that's just fine. Some you're going to win, some you're going to lose. Or you could have a tool, which I would say the footprint, which allows you to help qualify those opportunities at those levels. So what are the aggressive buyers doing? What are the aggressive sellers doing? What's volume doing? Allows us to really step inside at that level and qualify the opportunity, because in many times, actually one of the biggest pieces of feedback we get is the trades that the footprint helps people stay out of, not the trades it gets them into.
Okay.
And it's the ones that you don't get in, that's good, because there might have been a losing trade.
Okay.
So
one more thing on the footprint. Could you maybe show us a chart that covers more than one day so we can see how it looks? Or is that a useful way to use the footprint?
Yeah. Well, to kind of tag along with the answer I just gave, the footprint is really more the near-term view of the market.
Okay.
And you can obviously tell by looking at the screen, it's a wide, it's not a bar that you scrunch up and you can fit. But I can do that. I'm pulling the scroll wheel towards me for any of you who have this software. You see it scrunches up, and you get a little more view of the price action, and eventually you can see it just turns into that.
Okay.
You can scroll back. I mean, I can have it wide, and I can quickly just grab the bar down here and go back. You can see it. I mean, I know it's moving quickly, but
so maybe you can bring up volume profile. That's what I use personally. Okay, we have a question from Nathan. Nathan's asking, is there any possibility to get a result for the total ask or bid on the volume breakdown indicator? So, for example, he says, like the ask or bid size, but total size for all levels of depth rather than just the size at touch.
So you're basically asking for kind of a depth of market type indicator, if I understand, something that reads how much is available
I think so.
Entire depth.
Yeah.
That's something. Yeah, looks like that's what he's asking. That's we're working towards that. That's not the footprint. That'd be just kind of a depth of market type indicator, and that's something we it's on the product map. So we'll be building some things in like that soon enough.
Okay. All right. So I see volume profile. So walk me through what we've got highlighted and how your histogram works and what all the colors and shading means.
Sure.
I'm assuming we've got value area high, value area low, volume point of control. What else do we have?
Yeah, so this indicator, I mean, we specialize in volume profiling, so there's a couple different things. The indicator that I have applied here is just simply called the profile indicator, and it does all sorts of things. I have it set right now to just the volume, price and volume, and it's showing me a profile, all visible bars. I like this one. This is just one screen, but I like this one because I can change this, or I can scrunch up my chart. Notice how the profile here. Actually, let me take this indicator off because I don't want to cloud everybody's. I don't want to cloud everybody's view. Okay, so notice when I scrunch up the chart, notice how the profile changes.
Right.
So the profile is showing me all visible, a profile of all visible bars. If I zoom in just to say the last couple of days, it changes. So it's real quick and easy that way.
So it's basically a composite profile of whatever's on the screen.
Yeah, exactly. Another way, another volume profile thing you can do is simply just build volume profiles on the bars. So I just changed the chart style to a volume profile, and now we have it. And let's just change it to a 30-minute. Of course, you can do any time frame you want, down real small or real big, right. Dailies, weeklies, whatever.
Couple more questions here from members. So Gary's asking if you guys offer a lifetime ownership option.
Okay, no, we don't, and there's a very good reason for that. We license the market profile. This is one reason, but it's the one that would hold us to it either way. We license market profile from the CME Group, Chicago Board of Trade, and that is something we have to remit fees for users each month for everybody who has that enablement, and that alone holds us to a subscription model because we have to pay those fees each month for everybody.
Okay. George is asking if a tick volume chart is compatible with MarketDelta.
Yeah. Yep, it is.
We should point out that one other really good benefit of MarketDelta, from my understanding, is that it has all of this data is persistent. So, like for example, if you're using IQ feed or another supported data feed, then everything is stored. And if it's not stored on your computer, then it can download it from the historical data servers.
That is correct. So we have a built-in embedded database, so you can backfill or kind of refresh that database whenever you need to. But once the data's has been downloaded, you have it locally. So it makes for extremely fast drawing and calculating. And all the data is there to build all this stuff without having to wait for downloads and things like that.
Right.
So,
okay. Now, with volume profile, do you have any other templates or anything you can show where we have just like normal profiles on a daily basis, so we can see more than one profile on the screen for each day?
Yeah. Now, so I'm just going to go edit the one that I had up. I could obviously apply another one, but let's just edit this. I'm going to just change it to, so it's going to show me basically daily profiles. It'll show me, I'll just do 10 daily profiles. And so you can see how quick that was for those of you who are maybe used to delays and things. It's pretty much instantaneous. I can scrunch this up,
okay,
and there we are for our daily volume profiles.
Okay. And do you have, some platforms have, I guess, what's called like naked levels that will automatically, once they get hit, they stop printing. Do you have something like that for the value?
Yeah. So, and again, it's right on this indicator. This indicator has everything. Okay. I'm going to open it up again to go into those preferences. And you can see down here, there's extend naked POCs or extend naked whatever, closes, highs, lows, close highs. These things are defined in our knowledge base, but here, let's just do the naked POCs. That's kind of a real common one. Let me turn off the, let's see, because I don't want to cloud up the chart. All right, so it's hard to probably see because these lines are thin, but you can see this one right here extends out across. It's a green line, and that's a naked POC from a couple days ago.
Right.
So
once we trade that price, that line will stop.
And so you can see like today's, this one extended, but it's already been covered up.
Right.
And
okay.
Yeah.
So how about market profile, TPO chart?
Yep. So,
okay, so George also asking while you're bringing that up if you can combine market delta charts with range or Renko charts. So maybe you can also cover what other chart types you support other than just this.
All right, I'll answer that I guess first before we jump to market profile.
Okay.
There's different styles of charts. These are the styles. Renko is one of them. That's actually going to be here. Let me show you this screen actually. This shows a little bit of a sample. There's your point and figure, and then all that kind of stuff. You can build these in. Let me do a range bar. So there's tick bars, time bars, range bars, change, volume, point and figure, Renko, and then we have some other periodicities that are very unique and particular to market delta. Again, I'm not going to get into all these. You can look them up on our knowledge base or email us and we can get into those. But, here's a range bar. I'll just do it like a 10 range. There's a 10 range bar. You can do Renko, all that stuff.
Okay.
So I think that answers that.
Rick asking the question, on a basic footprint chart, is there an option to display the bid-ask volume by way of horizontal histograms rather than numbers?
Horizontal histogram. No, I don't. I know what you're at. I believe I understand the question.
It's kind of like a combination of volume profile. Is that what he's asking?
Yeah. No. The answer is no. That is not a type. That's not a bad suggestion. That might be something that we could look to add, but that does not exist right now. No.
Okay. Speaking of volume profile and such, I know that your platform has the ability to do some unique research or homework pretty easily. So, like, how easy is it for me to export out certain data from your platform into Excel? Like, what if I wanted to take value areas or something out of the profile or some other components out of a chart and get that data into Excel for me to crunch?
Yeah. So here I am on a footprint chart, and this really works with any chart. We just happen to be on this, but say you wanted to get the footprint data out and you wanted to get this volume breakdown data out so that you could run some analysis in Excel or whatever. Right-click, export, and you can do all chart data, just the indicator data, or just the instrument data, whatever you want. And so it's just a matter, it'll just export the text file or CSV, then you just import it into Excel and do your magic.
Okay. And did you bring up the TPO chart? I think I saw it.
Yeah. Sorry. There's the market profile.
Okay.
Okay, so I can quickly show, just quickly show this. So like I said, we do license market profile from the exchange, so it's the official market profile. There's a lot of functionality you can do here. You can do overnight, day-night type splits. I'm just showing day session only. This is an ES chart right now.
Okay.
And I actually have the volume profile here split out from the TPO.
Okay.
I don't know if there's particular questions you have on this or you wanted me to cover, but
this is my first time looking at it real quick for
okay.
your platform. So you said that. So first of all, you said that we can split the session, so we can have one day that has both the RTH and the electronic session on
Yep.
one screen. Okay.
Yeah. Another thing you can do is split the profiles real easily. So
Right.
I can split out like this is yesterday, here's today.
Okay.
Here, and actually, let me zoom in a little bit for everybody.
And then the blue vertical line, that's the initial balance.
That's the initial balance, correct? And then the green bar is the value area. You can have these value areas display with respect to the TPOs, which is what I have it set to, or you can have it draw with respect to volume. So the volume-based value area or the TPO-based, or both. Some
Right.
people like to see both, and in that
Okay.
case, there you are. They tend to line up a lot of times
Right.
very closely.
Okay. All right,
Initial balance. Yep. Go ahead.
And just real quick on the initial balance. So, some people use projections or whatnot, like initial balance times 2. Do you have
Yep.
anything like that?
Yeah,
Okay.
we do. We
Okay.
do. So if I wanted the 200%, there it is.
Okay.
And you can, again, you can see that I can define whatever I want. If I want it to be something particular to myself, you could punch in a number, or you could do both. Like here, this is obviously the common, the 150% and the 200. And so it might be hard to see on the, I don't know how that's coming through for you guys. If I change the color real quick. Maybe that'll.
Okay.
So, yeah. So you can see how that is.
Let's see. So let's see. Gary's asking, what about just order flow? I guess order flow is best represented in your platform using footprint charts. Is that right?
Yeah, of course, it looks like he's saying he doesn't care about market profile and you just want order flow. Yeah, just the footprint's going to be the primary. If you're interested in order flow, then the footprint's kind of the go-to chart for that, and then maybe apply some of the indicators like that volume breakdown. It's going to be an excellent one to have on there. For those of you who geek out on stats, there's some indicators unique to MarketDelta called the footprint price statistics and footprint bar statistics. I'll just show one. Let's do the bar statistics, and I'll do all. And so here's a bunch of stats. Now, of course, you probably don't want them all on there. You might just want some of these.
Right.
But I just threw them all on. And these are bar by bar statistics, buy volume, sell volume, max delta. There's the cumulative delta on here somewhere, average size,
Okay.
all sorts of stuff.
I see time. So on a non-time-based chart, that could be useful.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. How many seconds are in the bar? So.
And you can still overlay traditional indicators. Like if I wanted to take a VWAP, I could put that on this chart. No problem.
Yep, exactly. So it's just a matter of adding a technical indicator. Let's just do the VWAP. And I should probably customize it a little bit, maybe make it heavier. But you can see here it is up here. And if I zoom out, like we talked about, there's our VWAP. So moving averages, you could any indicator in the system can be applied right over top of the footprint.
Okay.
So you can apply all the traditional indicators and tools you need, including drawing tools. So if you want to drop a trend line on here, or some sort of measurement, whatever, can be dropped on, and it'll be available in that footprint view.
Okay. Let me ask a broader question. So, what data feeds do you support? What do we need to bring in order to get data inside of MarketDelta?
Yep, good question. We support about 5 or 6 different data sources. Some of them are brokerage source data feeds, and then the 2 that are not are eSignal and IQ feed. A lot of people use IQ Feed, provides the real-time and the historical, but the point here is you have to have some sort of data source in order to power the charting. If you use one of the brokerage feeds, then we have it's an optional enablement that offers the historical backfilling for those brokerage feeds, and it offers extensive tick and then 1 minute in the daily data. So it's real easy, and that's a good option because it allows you to basically have a free data feed, leverage the data you're getting from your broker, but then be able to have all these analytics to backfill, whether it be footprints, market profiles, or your traditional charts with all the data that you need for your analysis. So,
Rick is asking about a delta divergence indicator.
Okay, so that's an indicator. That's an add-on indicator. I don't know what else to say, but it's an add-on indicator for sale actually through us that applies to. I don't think I have one on here, so I'm not gonna. Yeah, I don't have it on here, but essentially it just gives signals on the chart, buy or sell signals, so you can have it. You can react discretionarily by clicking and trading off that, or have it fire a trade right automatically based on that. And that's just an example of what can be done with the software. That's one signal, but you can code up these things on your own criteria to signal buys and sells and all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of a whole other level.
What about multiple time frames? Do we have any ability to have a moving average? I mean, VWAP is universal regardless of time frame, but what if I wanted something else?
Yes, you can. So we have an MPD indicator, we call it, that allows you to do all that. So without getting into all the details and specifics, you do have the ability to do what you just said.
Okay. George asking if MarketDelta is a standalone. I think he's talking about the charts.
Yeah, it's a standalone. Yeah, it's standalone platform.
Okay.
It is not any sort of plug-in, which actually makes for much greater efficiencies. Everything's integrated within MarketDelta. It's not plug-in, so you have everything tightly integrated for speed, efficiency, and I mean those are the key things.
Right.
So
only a few minutes left, guys, so go ahead and get your remaining questions in. Jay's asking if there are any new changes to Delta Trader.
MarketDelta Trader is what he's referring to. That's the trading platform. So you're looking at MarketDelta charts. It's the charting and analytics. We also have MarketDelta Trader. It's a DOM. It allows you to trade. The two interface, so you can use one to power the other with data and then send trades out of this program into Trader. There's some changes we're about to release another major update to MarketDelta Trader. We're hoping here in the next week or two. We're waiting for final sign-off on that.
Okay, so with charts, I can bring my own DOM up if I want to use NinjaTrader or whatever to execute, but then you also have a separate package for your DOM.
Yeah.
Okay.
We do, and that's just MarketDelta Trader. I don't have it. Obviously, I don't have it running here on the screen. I don't have it.
And as far as supported brokerages, there's a list, I assume, on their website.
Yes, there are. And I could I'll post a link to those brokers, but basically it supports right now 2 different order routing systems, CQG and OEC. There's a whole host of brokers that support those 2 different order routing systems, and we'll probably be adding support for Rhythmic, Zenfire, and some others throughout this year.
Okay. Rick asking what the programming API is, what language. So I guess look, if he wants to write his own indicator, how do we do that?
Yeah, we have an SDK that's available to subscribers that we can provide. So then you can just interface with that. If you just simply visit support.marketdelta.com and search SDK, you'll have all the information you need and should answer those questions.
Okay. Tony asking what you use personally in your trading, and let me also ask on top of that, what do you find most people are using? Is it footprint? Is it profile?
No, I mean, we tend to be known more for the footprint market profile because those are two things that are unique to MarketDelta, and we do very, very, very well. But, of course, all the traditional technical analysis tools and everything exist. So people are using it in all sorts of different ways. But many people, of course, are using the footprint or market profile or both, in conjunction with all the traditional technical analysis and stuff they might be doing. So,
okay. And we should point out that you've got futures up right now, but this would work for equities as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it will. You can. It depends all on the data source. So if you're using, say, IQ feed, you can get anything you want. Essentially, spot forex, futures,
right.
The indexes, all that stuff. So it ends up being kind of you are what you eat. If you're getting the data from the data source, you're going to be able to plot it, chart it, and build it.
Okay. Rick asking just what about regular volume bars? So you mentioned there's Renko, there's range, volume, all the traditional bar types. We saw figure.
Yeah, I mean, this chart right here, these are volume bars. So this is just the good old traditional volume histogram. Of course, what I got this on? I got this on a 60-minute. But if I change this to be something else, say a 20 range, I know that's long, but let's just do it. There's 20 range bars, and there's the volume histogram for that.
Okay.
So,
what about some of the drawing tools? Can you briefly show us what we have available?
Yep. Show toolbar. Oh, here it is over here. So it's probably best I just hover over and show you. There's the reference line tool if you want to just add a horizontal reference line, the parallel trend lines. You got the fib extensions, as well as retracements, the pitchforks. All the probably what you would expect when it comes to drawing tools. We're going to have what's available, what everybody would expect us to have. So that's what you see there.
And what about hotkeys? I know people love hotkeys. Are there any shortcut keys that they could assign to any of these tools? Or?
Yeah, I'm trying to think offhand what's going to be the best way for that. The one thing we basically will encourage a lot of people to do is just add buttons. So it's real easy to add a button that will essentially be like a hotkey.
Okay.
Let's just say change. Let me see. I had one chart. Let me just show you one that I had right here. So here's some buttons. So if I wanted to say change the periodicity, I can do that. If I want to change it to a 60-minute, there's a 60-minute footprint. If I want to bring up charts preferences. So those are quick ways of, if I want to change the style from a footprint to a candle, there it is.
Okay.
So those are going to be kind of the quick ways. You can have hotkeys. Keyboard shortcuts. If you search our our knowledge base, keyboard shortcuts, that'll get you to where you need to be.
Okay. Well, I like the button idea. That's a real simple way. Most other platforms don't let you do something like that.
Yeah.
At least not without a couple hundred lines of code.
No, you can go nuts with this. It's real easy. Like I can take an indicator. This is the VWAP. I can just right-click and add VWAP button. There it is. So now I click it, turns it off, click it, turns it on.
Okay.
So
That's
cool. It's real easy to do.
Okay, so we're wrapping up here. George has one more question about can each bar have its own volume profile? And I think that you showed us that before, right?
What did he want to see?
If each bar can have its own volume profile. So like you could take a 30 or 60 minute or whatever you want and build a histogram off of that.
Yeah, I think this is what we're talking about right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in this case, a 20 range chart with each bar having its own profile.
Yeah, and you know, I'll just show you this. Using that profile indicator we were looking at earlier, I can click it here on the toolbar, and let's say I want to profile just a section of the bars. So I'm going to just take from here this low to this high, let go, and you know, there we have a quick profile. So, and I want it to be price and volume.
And of course, we can configure all of these colors and all the shading and everything.
Sure.
Okay.
We're using the heat map profile, but you know, if you just want it to be silver, you know, whatever. You can do whatever you want. But we just, I don't know. This heat map one is certainly a nice, colorful one. But you can do it however you want.
Okay. All right, Trevor. So as you know, trying to limit these to 30 minutes just to make them in and out. So I think that we covered our 30 minutes today. So I'll post this recording in the thread, and if anybody has other questions, they can put it in the thread. And what about contacting you? Do you have a preferred method?
Yeah, just support at MarketDelta.com or sales@MarketDelta.com. That it can get to me if it needs to that way. I'm certainly there's other guys they're better at the software than me too. So I'll be able to facilitate, or one of us will, very quickly. So it's almost better that you're not asking for me, because you'll probably get a quicker response. Sometimes I get bogged down with everything else. So.
Okay.
I do see one last question on chart trading. It is available. Obviously, I didn't demo that at all today. That would require MarketDelta Trader as well. And maybe we could do a follow-up sometime, and I'll show you a little bit more about that after the release.
Sure. And we should also point out that we have a full, normal webinar with MarketDelta coming up in April. So, but we'll probably have another AMA session between now and then too. So. Okay. Well, thanks, Trevor, and thanks, guys, and I'll post this in the thread, and hope everybody has a good trading day today.
Yep. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Mike.
Bye.
See you.